Hello, this is William McKissock with Schooley Mitchell, your expense reduction specialists. As you know, we like to promote other businesses on social media for free. And today I have with me Tim Neilan. Hi, Tim.
Hi, William. How you doing?
I'm good. So how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. It's a great day in Tampa Bay. It's beautiful outside. The sun is shining. It's a bit chilly, but it's an awesome day.
Yeah, we'll take it because we don't get a lot of it. We'll take that little cool down. So, Tim, obviously we can see behind you sales acceleration. Um, the kind of words in the title, the clues in the title. So,
Yeah.
if you give the viewers a little piece of background as to you and where you're coming from and how you get into this business.
Yeah, thanks, William. Well, first off, I'm more or less a Tampa Bay native. I'm married 30 years. My wife and I have three children. We're big fans of the Rays, the Lightning, of course, the Buccaneers. And, look, the beautiful weather outside. I'm an avid golfer. And believe it or not, I get out west probably more so than most here in the Tampa Bay because I love to snow ski.
Oh,
I've been
cool.
in sales management for, gosh, 20 plus years. Started out in telecom sales back in the day when long distance and local service were kind of those top technology products, and
Yeah.
just followed that along into the business of wireless and technology, and spent over 10 years with T-Mobile USA leading their B2B organization. And then I spent 5 years with Samsung Electronics America leading their business to business organization. 21, I went to work for a startup, and it was an ag tech startup out of San Jose, Telesense. I helped them successfully exit in 22. And then in the beginning of 23, this corporate large organization leading across multiple time zones, both here in the US and across the globe, it just took its toll. And, there's a ton of small, mid-sized businesses here in Tampa Bay that value sales leadership and guidance in that area.
Hmm.
And so I aligned with Sales Acceleration in 2023 to help small, mid-sized businesses fix sales.
And the name of your company is Peak Leadership Solutions LLC, correct? And you partner with Sales Acceleration to have kind of like some of their support and some of their materials to help deliver to your clients. Is that correct?
That's right. So Sales Acceleration is the leader in executive sales management support services. So think about your fractional VP of sales or chief revenue officer, supporting everything from strategy to infrastructure to sales management with strategic alliances and partnerships with some of the top brands across the ecosystem of business services.
Yeah.
So think of EOS, recruiting firms, uh, marketing support services, CRM partnerships. And so Peak Leadership Solutions is my company, but we're powered by Sales Acceleration.
Yeah. So explain to the viewer, obviously you touched on the kind of people and the kind of companies and the kind of levels that you're here to help those leadership positions. What do you actually do when you go into a company, and what does a typical client look like?
Yeah, that's a great question, William. So an average client for us is in that 3 million to probably 50 million, could go up even as high as 100 million in annual revenues. And it's a company that I'd say 80% of the time has a business to business sales focus. We can support business to consumer, but it tends to be in that business to business. They're selling a product or service to other businesses. And the challenges that we see very often are that business owners, they just lack the time or the expertise to develop a solid growth or strategy. They're uncomfortable. Their team's just not delivering the type of revenues that they're expecting. Accountability metrics may not be in place. They're having difficulty attracting and keeping top performers. That's just a challenge. And sales are just stagnant. They just can't seem to maintain a year-round cadence in
Mhm.
measuring and coaching and adjusting to perform like the best in class companies do.
Yeah. So you mentioned Tampa Bay. Obviously, we love you because I've been here 13 years and I support everything Tampa Bay. Season
Yeah.
ticket holder with the Bucks, and I go to as many Lightning games as I can. So you mentioned Tampa Bay. With your business, I'm assuming, but please tell the viewer, do you do this all over the country? I guess it doesn't matter where the client is in the country.
Yeah, William, that's a great question. Before COVID, it would have been highly concentrated in Tampa Bay. But as a result of technology like what we're doing right now, you and I happen to both be in Tampa Bay, but could just easily be across the globe and
Yeah.
having this conversation. So most of our clients or my clients are in that Tampa Bay area, but I have a few clients that I work with that are outside in other parts of the country as a result of having sales teams that are spread out in different geographies. And you know what we see more times than not, you know, roughly 90% of companies struggle with sales strategy, methodology, just the organization and the analytics that are needed to run a successful sales organization. So
Mhm.
part of our solution is just coming in and evaluating that and providing support and involvement and structure and building and execution in some of those key areas.
So you touched on like technology, you come from a tech background, etc. Do you have a particular preference for working with tech companies, or do you find yourself going down that route, or do you have a preference what type of company you work with?
Yeah, that's another great question. So all types of companies, you know, what we find is 85% of sales is the same. The 15% that's different is in the product or the service or the vertical. You know, of course, I do have a high tech background. A lot of industry today is tech driven, and that helps. But I've worked with companies in the manufacturing vertical, in the healthcare vertical, industrial vertical, as well as in the tech vertical. And you know, when we break it down, there's really four key areas that we help companies in. And number one is in sales strategy and ensuring that they've got the right blueprint, they've got the right buyer personas, the client profiles, a unique value proposition, et cetera. The second is in building that infrastructure. Do they have the right sales forecast, comp plans, documented sales process, CRM in place to support their salespeople? We can also help in the area of sales management. So very often I have clients that are in a situation where either their sales leader is no longer there or they're leading sales and they need help. And so I can step in on an interim basis and support them in a fractional capacity for a period of time until we bring somebody in and, that can take over and lead the infrastructure that we've put in place. And then the fourth area is really with the sales team and ensuring that we work strategically to recruit, interview, and onboard the right salespeople and ensure that they've got the training that they need ongoing to enhance their skills.
Amazing. Again, we don't really talk much about what Schooley Mitchell does here, but similarly to what we're doing, we can take companies in any industry because you're spending money. You want to spend less money if you can avoid it. In your case, if you're selling and you're bringing revenues in, it doesn't really matter what your industry is. The disciplines are the same. And those 4 points that you mentioned there, that's with any business. Any business is going to have those problems. If they're not making enough money, they need to address them. Well,
You
anyway,
got it. A strong collaboration.
if you're watching this video, please see Tim's details underneath his portion of the video. It has his email address, website, phone number. You can reach out. Tim's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and he's very, very fantastically good at what he does, as you can see from the video. So anyway, Tim, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's an absolute pleasure. Again, watching this video, Tim's details are underneath his portion of the video. Thanks again, Tim.
Thanks, William, for having me.
My pleasure. I'll now hand it over to Dave for the weather.